channel. So today is exciting because I received 3 of the new ColourPop eyeshadow quads. So these are little mini palettes with 4 eyeshadows inside of each of them, and they retail for $9 each. So they're very affordable. They're super cute because you can get a couple of them and create so many eyeshadow looks with them. And it's also great because they're very compact. So they're great for travel. They're great just to like throw into a purse or any type of makeup bag if you just want like a couple of shadows, because sometimes these big palettes can be a little bit overwhelming. So I really love the fact that they just introduced these new quads, and I just think that they're really cute. They're really fun. Earlier in the year, they actually released their little mini palettes with 5 shadows. So this is cute because they're even minier and they're little quads. So I'll show you guys the 3 that I received as PR. So the palettes are very mini and adorable, and you're getting 4 eyeshadows. So I have more of the warm tone ones. I saw online that they have a couple more like cool tone ones and more like maybe beigey colors. So mine are more of like the corally ones, and then this sparkler one here is so beautiful because you're getting those like bronzy shades, which I love. So you are getting 3 formulas in each palette. They have their matte formula, they have their metallic formula, and they also have their new glitter metallic formula. So it says here that it is a brand new dimensional finish loaded with pearlescent pigments. So that's really nice because you're getting a few new formulas and they're just really beautiful. I mean, I love the mattes and the metallics. So I'm excited to try the new formula. So I will be swatching each shadow so you guys can see them. So that will be inserted at some point in the video. Okay, so for this tutorial, I think I want to go in with this one palette here. I'm probably going to do some dedicated videos for each of the little palettes that I have. So for today's video, I'm going to use this one palette here called Sparkler. I love these like bronzy shades, so I think I'm going to do a nice kind of rich smoky eye using this little palette here, and you guys can get my first impressions on how the shadows perform and everything. So let's just get started. As per usual, I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with some eyeshadow primer. For that, I'm going to be using this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in their original formula. So I will zoom you guys in so you can get a better look at the eyes. And I'm just going to be placing that primer just on my lids. And I'm going to just blend that out with my fingertips. So because the shadows that I'm using today are a bit on the dark side, and in case we get any fallout, I do want to make sure that I put a little bit of setting powder on my under eyes to really help protect my under eye makeup because, as you guys can see, I do have my makeup already done. So just to be safe, I'm gonna place some of this ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder in their translucent shade on my under eyes just with a little powder puff, and this is just gonna help catch any fallout if we have any. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a big fluffy blending brush. I'm using this ColourPop E2 brush, and I'm going to go into this lighter matte shade here in the palette. That one is called Cool Cola, and I'm just gonna place that all into the crease. Wow, so right away I could just see how pigmented the shadow is. It is very pigmented. It's definitely like a rich, deep matte brown shade. It has a little bit of like warm tone undertones to it, but it's definitely kind of like a medium tone kind of brown. It's not like warm and it's not really cold. And I'm not getting too much fallout. I noticed just like a little bit, but that's to be expected, especially with matte shadows. I find that they naturally just have more fallout. I just placed like one swipe and it's so pigmented. I actually am very surprised that this matte shadow is kind of blending out as nice as it really is. So I'm kind of just bringing out that shadow just kind of along the outer corner and kind of creating a little bit of like a cat eye effect with the shadow, but I'm not like making it too intense. I'm just taking the leftover shadow and just smoking it out almost in like a triangle type of shape. I mean, ColourPop always impresses me with their quality and their price point, but honestly, so far this shadow is just like so easy to work with, and it's just so pigmented, but it's blendable because sometimes, like especially with brown shadows, you can get a little bit of like, it's just kind of like hard to blend, so you'll kind of see lines, and this is very, very nice and actually very easy to blend. It is pretty dark, and this is the lighter brown in the palette, so I kind of do wish they had maybe more of a medium tone, like lighter brown in there with a dark brown, because this isn't even the darkest shade and it's already super dark. So this palette is definitely more dramatic. It'll give you a dramatic look for sure. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the deepest matte shadow here in the palette. That one is called Seltzer, and I'm gonna use a smaller kind of pencil looking brush by ColourPop. This is their E9 brush, and I'm just gonna kind of deepen the crease even further more with that darker brown shade. So I'm just kind of leaving that dark shade in the crease, but more towards the bottom area, because I do wanna keep the top pretty much the way it looks right now. I want to kind of just showcase that faded medium kind of tone brown there, so I don't want that really dark brown to go too high up on the crease. And as you guys can see, these shadows are super, super pigmented. And I am tapping my brush before I place the shadow onto my lids, because the matte shadows do have a little bit more pigment, and I think they're pressed a little bit softer, so you will get some fallout. So you just want to keep that in mind and just be careful, and definitely use some setting powder if your makeup's already done, just to avoid ruining your under eye makeup, because since these shadows are so dark and pigmented, you will definitely see them if there's any fallout. Okay, so before I go in with those metallics, I do want to use this NYX glitter primer first. I love to use this whenever I use any type of metallics or glitters on my lids. So this is definitely important because it'll just make the metallic shadows pop even more and last all day long, and of course adhere to the lid much, much better. So I'm just gonna place a little bit of this just onto my lid area there, and it's gonna be kind of like a diffused smoky look. So I'm not gonna do like a cut crease or anything. So I'm just placing this on the lid, no cut crease today. Okay, Okay, so I think I'm gonna go in first with this deeper bronzy shade here. That one is called Extra Bubbly, and it's just a really, really nice bronzy metallic shade. So I'm gonna place that with this little flat packer brush here. This is actually a Zoeva 234 Luxe Smoky Shader brush. This shade is actually really pretty because it's a little bit more of like a warm tone bronze shade, so it's very flattering and it's just really, really pretty. As you guys can see, that was very simple in the sense that it pretty much blended into the crease really nicely. I just brought it a little bit further into the crease to kind of blend into that matte brown shade that we used, the two shades that we used, and I just think already this looks really nice, but I do want to actually add a little bit of that lighter shade on top just to see how that looks. And that lighter shade there is called Sweet On. And I'm just taking it with that same brush and I'm kind of just placing it in the middle just to add a little bit more dimension to the middle of the eye there. So as you guys can see, it almost looks like a little bit of a halo eye. Just adding that lighter metallic shade really does look really nice, and it blends together beautifully with that other metallic shade. So I really, really love those two colors together. So I believe that this lighter shade here, which is called Sweet On, I think that that is their new formula, which is the glitter metallic, because as I'm applying it, it's kind of hard to tell in the pan, but while I'm applying it, I can see that it goes on really nice like a metallic, but then you do see a couple of like fine glitters that kind of just like pop through, and it's really beautiful. I actually really love that. It's not like a very glittery shadow, but it's definitely like a nice metallic base with a couple of fine glitters in there to really add that little extra dimension. So love that. So that is the shade in there, because I was actually wondering which one was the new formula. So this one over here is like a nice metallic chocolatey brown, and then this one is their new formula, just in case you guys are curious. As you guys can see, I do have some fallout, so that is why it was very important that I put that under eye setting powder. And now I'm going to just wipe it away with a fluffy blending brush here and just wipe away any of that fallout. And as you can see, that setting powder really does work wonders, and it's like nothing was ever there. Okay, so now for the lower lash line, I think I'm just gonna go in with that one lighter matte shade in the palette, and I'm gonna use this ColourPop E28 little pencil brush, and I'm just gonna go in with that one matte brown shade there and just kind of smoke that out. So I'm just kind of just patting it onto the lower lash line. Okay, so now in the waterline, I'm actually going to use this ColourPop Creme Gel Liner. The name actually came off of it, so I will put the names of course, everything in the description box, including this, but it's just a really nice matte dark brown shade. So I'm just going to line the waterline with that. Okay, so I am gonna put on some mascara. I actually did have some mascara before I started filming because I actually wasn't sure if I was gonna film today, and I already had gone out and put on a little bit of mascara on my eyes, but I didn't have that much on and you can't really tell that it's even there anymore. So I'm going to put some mascara on top of the one that I already had on, and I'm actually using a new one from ColourPop. So I've never tried this mascara. They actually sent me these two shades. So they have a black one and a brown one, and I'm so excited for the brown one because I kept saying that I needed a brown mascara and I actually don't even have one in my collection. So it was super exciting when I saw that they came out with the brown mascara. So this is the new ColourPop Act Natural mascaras, and they look really nice, so I'm excited to try them out. On my top lashes, I'm gonna go in with the black shade, and on the bottom, I'm gonna go in with the brown shade. This is just the black one, and like I said, I did have a little bit of mascara on from earlier. I was gonna take it off, but I do wear contacts, so it was just gonna probably be a disaster with my contacts already in my eyes. So I'm sorry guys for that, but I'll definitely use this mascara again on a day where I don't have any mascara on my lids, just to get a better look at it. But it actually looks really nice. I don't know if you guys can tell because I have so much eyeshadow on. The brown color looks to be almost like a dark, almost like warm tone brown, so you could probably see it on the lashes better. So far, it looks pretty good to me. It's definitely a nice dark brown, but it has a little bit of warmth to it. So now to finish off the look, I am gonna pop on a pair of lashes, and these are just some that I got off of eBay, and I will link the specific pair that I'm wearing in the description down below. So I'm gonna pop these on, and then I'll be right back to talk to you guys about the finished look and of course the new quads. Okay guys, so that is the finished look using this new adorable quad from ColourPop. So I did use the Sparkler palette, which is the beautiful dark browns and like bronzes. So love that. I'm really excited to film using these other two palettes here that are also super pretty, very warm toned and summery. So I'm excited to use those. Let me know which one you actually want to see first. If you want to see the Creamsicle one first, or the Mocktail one, I would love to know. But I will film individual eyeshadow tutorials on each of these palettes, so stay tuned for that. So I really do love these little palettes. At least the one that I tried today, I really loved. I just think it was so pigmented. It was really easy to work with and create a really nice dramatic look. This of course is on the darker side, so if you don't really like these like dark kind of dramatic colors, then I would not get this specific color palette. But of course, like I said, they do have more online for you to choose from. So this one is definitely really nice if you want like those kind of smoky brown looks. I really think this palette is so pretty. The matte browns in here are so pigmented. They really do look so nice. They were so buttery, so pigmented. And as you guys saw, I had like a little bit on my brush and it was like so much pigmentation. So love that. I am into like these rich browns. So these little palettes do get a thumbs up from me. I love them. As I said, they are $9 each, so very affordable. You are getting 4 beautiful shadows in each palette with different finishes. They have their 3 formulas, and I do really like the kind of new multi-dimensional metallic glitter formula that they have. I love how they actually give you 2 mattes in each palette. I noticed that for the ones that I have, there's 2 mattes on the bottom and then 2 metallics, and then they have like a glitter metallic also. So really nice to have those options. I do love that you're getting different formulas in each little palette, and I just think that they're great. The ColourPop formulation is always great in my opinion, so these ones are definitely to the same quality, at least the one that I've tried. This one was really, really great, so I'm excited to try these other ones. So if you guys like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!